Hello everyone, it is Kaiju Stuff here, and today we are going to do somewhat of another collection haul-ish. Now I don't mean the entire collection room, but I would like to go more in depth about these. These are Godzilla keychains that you'll probably find at your local comic book place or an FYE or basically just something you'll grab on the way out that costs like $10 a piece. Anyway, so today I would like to go over my personal collection of these, because I do have quite a few of them. So, let's just begin. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is basically the basic Godzilla, kind of. This is the Millennium Godzilla, and as you can see, he's got a bit of a green tint with those purple spines that you'll usually see. It's pretty cool. It's basically just the basic Godzilla that I have of this set. I guess I could call it a set, even though it's not. Once again, these are more of blind bags, and I've never actually gotten a copy because there's a surprising amount of different types of blind bags involving Godzilla keychains. But this is basically my regular Godzilla that looks like the keychain, because I do know they have a Heisei one, and probably a Showa one, and definitely a legendary one, but this is just my regular Godzilla that is basically the base form. But I do have a keychain of the 1954 poster. No, very strange. I believe it's an exclusive or rarer one. Once again, I just kind of grabbed these on the way out, so I don't look too in-depth with these, but this is probably the most basic one that looks like a generic Godzilla, because it's just a gray Godzilla. You can't even see his spine, so technically this could just be any gray dinosaur, technically. But this one is not a generic Godzilla. Instead, this one's Burning Godzilla, and if I'm being honest, it's probably my favorite Godzilla out of this. Mostly because, number one, he fits the chibi style very well. He's got very cute eyes, in my opinion. And another thing that I noticed is that the regular Godzilla does not have those cute eyes. Also, this one seems to be a lot more flimsy. Like, as you can see, I could just move that tail very easily. But if I get the other Godzilla, yeah. So this one's a lot more rubbery. I think it just looks a lot more chibi-like, which I do really like also. But, yeah, he's cool. This is actually one of the only ones that I kind of really wanted. But I don't just have Godzillas. I also have Godzilla's clone, Mechagodzilla, specifically 1974. And honestly, this is my favorite one that I have. Mostly because he's got a very weird looking smile, but he looks very cool in the chibi form with all those, like, I guess vents or mecha thingies. I guess mecha plates. The coloring just looks very good, and I even like the little dorsal plates that he's got here. His yellow and orange eyes really do fit the whole Mechagodzilla look, because I know sometimes they could be more of like a very light yellow. So I like how it's pretty dark orange and dark yellow here. Another one of Godzilla's clones is Orga. Believe it or not, this is the only Orga I have, and I'm not too thrilled with it. But I will say I'm glad to have it. He looks very nice, and he's got the Orga look. But he looks like there's just like a random hole in the middle of his mouth. Like, I know that's supposed to be his throat, but it just looks weird. You know those clowns at like a carnival or boardwalk, and you have to try to like shoot the water in that hole? That's what this looks like to me. It doesn't look natural. And I don't think any of the others have this, or if this is just the most noticeable. Now, an honorable mention to one of Godzilla's clones, and once again, this is only an honorable mention. It says Reptar. keychain. It's made by the exact same company, MII. I also got this at, I believe, FYE. So, once again, this is just an honorable mention, and I knew I had to mention it because, I have it, and it's also pretty cool. And here we have the most recent one added to my keychain collection. Monster X. Now, this is actually my first Monster X ever, so I do remember getting it and be like, oh cool, I finally got something to represent Monster X. But at the same time, this looks kind of off. It looks like a toddler in a skeleton suit. I don't know, I just feel like if they made these horns on his head more 3D, I think that would have made it look better. Also, his, half skulls on his shoulders are kind of just non-existent. They're kind of just little red dots. But otherwise, pretty cool. And once again, you're getting these for like $8 each. Oh my god. Anyway. Yeah. Pretty cool, I guess. Now, this is a really unique one in my opinion, because to my knowledge, they have not made too much merch of this specific event happening. And that's Mothra coming out of her shell. I'm sorry, not shell, egg. Now, they don't make too much merch of Mothra actually coming out of the egg. Yeah, it comes with it, but never, Mothra actually hatching out of it. So, I'm glad that I actually have something in my collection to somewhat represent that happening. And I'm assuming this is the Showa era, because that's the only real scene I can remember in the Godzilla series. Very cool. Another one that I find very unique and will probably never get merch of again, it's this little doll made by the Iwi girl in Godzilla vs. Kong. I just find it so cool that they actually made merch of this and I just happened to got it. It looks very cool and I don't even have a King Kong to go with it. But the chances of me getting this, plus them even making it in the first place, and we'll probably never see merch of it again, ever. Well, that's pretty cool. And he's got very good coloring, too. I like all the straps. It looks very homemade. Speaking of Hollow Earth, yeah, a Hellhawk. And let me just say, he looks a lot more cute here, which I kind of dig. Because Hellhawks look a lot more threatening on screen in basically every other interpretation. So I do like how they made it kind of look like a cute owl that you'll see at TikTok at 3 a.m. Anyway, I do really like it. I think it's got the cute factor. I think, yeah. But believe it or not, this isn't my only Hellhawk. I also have this little Playmates one, which actually is a lot more movie accurate, size, scale, and paint job and all, so I'm really glad to have both of these that have two very different interpretations of the Hellhawk. One's very cute, and one wants to rip your eye sockets out. But let's lean more back to King Kong, shall we? Or should I say King Kong monsters? Because here I have Gorosaurus and Ebra. Now you might be saying, well, Ebra was in a Godzilla movie. Technically, it was supposed to be a King Kong movie, but they didn't feel like it. I know that was way too oversimplified, but I didn't feel like explaining it. Just look it up on YouTube. Yeah. But with Gorosaurus, it looks very nice and very cute. He's got a bit of a cross eye, which I do like. He's got a very light coloring, which once again, I could get behind because he's supposed to look cute. With Ebra, he's all kind of just one clump, but that one clump is very nice. Because all the legs are kind of just clumped together and the claws, and he looks very weird from a front angle. But from a side view, he looks very nice. Definitely looks like Ebra. So, yeah, these are the two King Kong monsters, and let's move on to our final keychain. Now, this final keychain was actually one of my first, now that I think about it. But you might be saying, what monumental keychain could make up the finale of this video? It's Baragon. But he's one of the cutest, and I think one of the first ever to come out. He's definitely very cute. It looks like he has whiskers, which I find weird. But he's got cool nostrils, and I like his horn. I do wish it was a little bit more 3D, though. He looks very weird from a side view. His tail's a little too long, but that's fine, because it's supposed to look kind of cute. And, you know, that's cute. Like water dragons, they have very long tails. I don't know if you've ever seen a water dragon. Very long tails, so they're cute-ish. Depends. Most of the time they're cute. So, yeah. Also, before I go, I would also like to mention this. Now, you might be saying, this is not a keychain, and you'd be correct, because this is made by Monogram. And it's the same company that made all the other keychains that I just showed. And this just happens to be the only actual figure they made. And it's a bank. It's a piggy bank. So, as you can see, there's a huge slot in the back of his back. And there's a little thing that you twist. So, yeah. As you can see, it looks exactly like this guy, which is, I believe, the Wave 6 or Wave 8 Bandai Creations Godzilla 1954. So, yeah. I just really wanted to mention him here, and I knew I wouldn't really be able to mention him anywhere else. So, yeah, there you go. He's pretty obscure. So, yeah. And with that, thank you guys for watching, and thank you for 160 subscribers. Because the only reason why this video was made was because you guys got to that point. You guys did this. Because I made a post saying, I'm not going to make a video until 160 subscribers, and I didn't, so that's why I've not been posting, if you guys were wondering. I'm not dead. So I just want to thank you for 160 subscribers, and try to get to 200 by, like, August, whenever. By August, do it. Try, please. If you watch this and you like the content, please, I'm begging you. Usually I don't beg, but I am now. Goodbye.